Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on our first episode of the At All Cost podcast. Today, joining me, we have the one and only BigSexyTex here. Let me get a nice welcome round of applause for BigSexyTex.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
So, guys, for our first episode, we're going to be getting to know Mr. Tex here. Um, Mr. Tech, how old are you? Let's start off with your basic information. Where are you from? How old are you? Let me get a rundown of your what's going on.
Um, I'm I'm 51 years old. I grew up in a small town, Iowa, on a farm, 15 miles from any city. You couldn't even go buy a Coke unless you went 15 miles. So now I'm in Daytona Beach, Florida, and it's a different lifestyle. But yeah, started out small town Iowa.
Man, what a journey it must have been to get from a little small town Iowa all the way to Daytona Beach, Florida. Take me a little bit through that, man. So, what was your first? What was your first? Let's see. What was your first? This will be a good question. What was your first introduction into the city life?
Oh my God. So I'd say when I was a kid, we went to Des Moines, which is a couple hours away. And that's what we consider big city. But I never really lived there. I just visited. But when I was 1997, just married, moved to Kansas City, and that was a big change, bro. So, yeah, took me a while to get adjusted. I got some stories about that because my first job was in the hood in Kansas City in the worst neighborhood, and I never even met a black person until I was 18 years old when I went and played college football. So
Yeah,
I
back
lived a sheltered life, bro.
was a different time back then, man.
Hell
You
yeah.
said 1997 was when you married your first wife. That
Yeah.
happens to be the same year I was born. That's crazy, man. You lived a lifetime before I was even in this world. So,
I graduated in 91, man. So
how old were you when you married your first wife?
I was 23.
23. Man, were you ready for that kind of commitment? Did you already have everything together?
I had things together. I actually had my own business and I was rocking and rolling with landscaping business. I had uh, six mowers going full time. I was mowing like, government properties and cemeteries and stuff like that. So when I first got married, yeah, I was doing pretty well for myself for
Dude,
my age. So yeah,
that's such a young age, man. That's such a right young age of 23 years old.
yeah.
Settled down with a wife. So what happened from that time on till now? So let me get a little timeline from 20. You said 23 years old till 30. What were you doing?
Well, I was doing a lot of different things. And I had my first business. I got married, and it's called Bennett Lawn Care Service and Bennett Power Equipment. And I sold lawn care equipment. I had my degree in turf and greenhouse management, and I worked um, at a factory in my hometown called Corden, Iowa, that had they built grain dryers and um, um, zero turn mowers. And I started out as a welder there and worked my way up. And it's a long story, but my career is a very amazing story because I have no college degree, but I owned a engineering company in San Antonio that had about $10 million worth of net revenue and about 40 employees when COVID hit. So
Wow, you lived a very impressive first 30 years, man. So out of this time frame, I can't help but wonder, did you take any inspiration from anyone, or did you ever have any help from anyone? And if so, tell me what's going on, man.
my dad was a badass dude, and I grew up on a farm and I learned how to work hard. I learned how to respect people. The only thing I didn't like about growing up the way I did was my parents were super religious, and it pretty much pushed me away from God for a long time. But I'm back now. But
Was it both your parents that were super religious?
oh yeah, I mean, we could. I started preaching to the congregation when I was 15 years old, and I preached on Sundays. We didn't have a preacher. Um, the men in the congregation were the preachers, and we didn't have organ music. We didn't have a preacher. It was a different religion that we had, and it was very restraining. So as a kid, I became a rebel at 16, as like before even 16. So
So, when you were a kid and you were going through all that, did you ever have any dreams, aspirations, or any desires as a young kid as to what you were going to do or be in the future? Was
oh
your plan to
oh
be
hell yeah,
in the
when I was
business that you're in right now, or were you going to be maybe a farmer?
oh no, I never wanted to be a farmer, man. I love my dad for what he did, but and it breaks his heart to hear me say that. But it's too much work for the money and not enough respect from anybody. So yeah, farming's a very hard lifestyle. My dad works 7 days a week, 24/7. Hard to go on vacation, even hard to do anything around the farm.
So, a lot of that time did you spend around your father, basically shadowing him and walking around in his footsteps?
Oh yeah, I started working when I was 12 at least, and then I had my own cattle. My dad gave us our ca- first piece of livestock when we were uh, about 12, 13 years old, when he started showing cattle as in 4-H, FFA. I was a steer jockey. So
Yeah.
if you know what a steer jockey is,
What
I
is a
loved my
steer
cattle,
jockey?
man.
What is a steer jockey? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Given the opportunity, would you go and try doing some of that again, doing what you're good at, or do you ever miss it sometimes?
Not really. I have the most amazing life. I've done so much stuff in my life that but I never want to go backwards. I always want to go forward. I always want to do something different. I always want to be better. I always want to be stronger. I always want to be doing something different. I get tired, and in my career was very evident. You can look at my resume. I switched jobs every 5 years, but it wasn't for to go backwards or even sideways. It was always to go forward, and that's how I got to the top of where I was at. And then my own company, and not even have an engineering degree. So, you got to have your dreams. You got to go after them, and you can't stop. You can never surrender.
Lower the
So who got
volume
you
just a little
introduced?
bit, because now lower the volume just a little bit on the music, because now we don't have the mic.
Oh, do these not work?
No,
Oh,
I don't, yeah,
they're just for looks.
no, yeah, but they were working though, from on the iPhone. That's why those small ones are attached.
Okay.
The small ones they clipped on,
Yeah,
those are working.
but these big ones don't.
I don't know.
These have to be hooked up to a computer, right?
Freaking yeah, they would be streamed, and I don't know how like that.
Mozzie had fucking figured it out for a little bit.
He did.
Hey,
It would
Cat,
have to be streamed,
can you turn down the music a little bit?
just a little bit.
All right. So what do you think? We can keep going? Pick it up back up?
Yeah,
Just wait until we.
yeah. It's our
I'm not connected.
just so we can hear
You
it.
have to do that.
My there's a system
Oh,
setting update on
It's
my
on
line.
the soon.
Can't get logged in.
Hold on. There.
Okay, now you're good. You're good. That's we're barely on 2 minutes, so we're straight. No matter what, this vlog should still be 15 to 20. 15. We could get a 15 to 20, 30-minute vlog. Okay.
This one is just getting to know you. The next ones could be like, oh, the interaction, this and that. But this one's getting to know.
And I can do reduced noise in the back and all that stuff. So
This stream is about getting to know Mr.
Yeah, and
BigSexyTex. Yeah.
Thank you, honey.
Yep.
Love you.
Oh, you too.
You're a dream woman, honey.
Aw.
No, you are.
All right. So we're back. So we got into your about the first 30 years of your life. So recently, in the past 20 years, what have you been up to, man? What keeps you busy?
Oh my God, the last 20 years has been so freaking rock star since I met Kathy, my wife.
Yeah, where'd you meet Kathy?
That's funny because I met her in Omaha, Nebraska, of all places, man. So, yeah, I met her at a lifestyle party, and her wife or her ex-husband and my ex-wife were together, and me and her together. It's the best thing that ever happened, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've really taken off, and we've had a great life together, and we have a lot of fun. But we're very serious, business oriented. But when it comes time to have fun, we like to have fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, how long have you been together?
We've been together for about 21 years now, and got married. We're coming up on it'll be our 5th year anniversary.
That's awesome, bro.
And I've said I'd never get married again, but this woman proved me wrong, and I'm glad that I did it.
Yeah, man, having a woman who supports you the entire way, I think that's a big thing that a lot of people overlook. Sometimes a woman could really help you and really be the backbone to a successful man.
I can't wait to introduce her when we start the Dab and Cat show, or Little Dab will do ya. So it's going to be funny, and we're going to talk about our life together and how we have our adventure together. So we'll get into more detail on that later. But yeah, so the last 20 years I've just been building my career. I moved around a lot in my career. I took the jobs that nobody else wanted, that I knew if I took it I could do it, and I proved to everybody. So when me and Kat first got together, I was away from home for five years on a project out in western Kansas, because it was an amazing project for my career, but it was something that nobody else wanted to do because it's out in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, and they wouldn't be home. So that's how you get ahead in life, is do stuff that you may not want to do. But
Make yourself uncomfortable.
Yep.
Search for the uncomfortability.
Yep. And
Okay.
so I went home every weekend, and it was amazing, dude, because she was ready to see me, and I was ready to see her. And Monday we went back to work, and I never had to worry about her one time cheating on me, nothing, man. She's such a good woman.
Okay, so you're a very hardworking man, from whatever I gathered from your life. It sounds like you lived an enormous life full of full of really hard work and fulfillment. So what do you like to do for entertainment? What gives you that spark in life?
Oh, sparking life was, I have to say it, but most people might not think I'm normal, but my hobbies in life are cars and sex. And I love sex, and I love women,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
and I love cars. So that's how I occupy my time.
Oh yeah, man's man. So what have you been doing lately for work in your life that brings you that spark?
Well, last 3 years, when my business, we had to close down because COVID and some other issues with the past business partner that we don't want to go into. But long story short, I was forced to shut down my dream, man. And when we were sitting on the couch, me and my wife, in this beautiful house in San Antonio, and we didn't know what to do. We didn't know where to go. We didn't know what we were going to do. We said, you know what? We're going to follow our dreams. And so that's what we've been doing for the last 3 years. Trying to build to this podcast, trying to build up her modeling and adult film career. It's been amazing. I love my wife so much. She's so proud of her for what she's doing. And then also building, a modeling agency / entertainment agency to help people that want to do this type of stuff, but want to do it the right way, and good morals and respect for others.
Yeah, I noticed you mentioned Texas, man. Tell me a little bit about that. When's the last time you were in Texas? What's the story with that?
Shit, June, man, when I moved down to Florida. So it was, it was crazy. We were homeless actually at the time, and great angel named Mitch called me and had a job here in Florida and offered to move me down here. And there's a long story behind that, but he's my angel, and he got me here. The job didn't quite work out, but he's still here and helping us with our dream. And anyway, we've been working on building this entertainment company and marketing company. And I have Maz, Jason Hernandez, has also lives with us as Cat's manager for the last year and a half, and he's also starting Raw Action. We're all working together. We started a company called Mega Marketing, and the ownership is me, Kat, my wife, Catlicious, and Maz. And Maz came a long way with us. He's grown up a lot, and yeah, he's our godson now, and he's been through a lot with us. Even there's a lot of stories to tell there too. And same with there's been other people involved for a while too, which is Slump back here that's doing all the filming and stuff. He knows a lot about what's been happening.
Shout out to Iowa Slump.
Yeah, buddy. He's gonna be the friggin' one day. He's gonna be the friggin' the head honcho at Catston Productions, man. So we're starting Catston Productions, which is gonna be our vlog, our podcast, our adult films, and any other stuff that we do entertainment wise. But right now we're looking at adult films, vlogging, our podcast, Raw Action, and Slump's, his pranks that he does. We're gonna throw some of that in there too. And Michael's part of our team as well. He's gonna be filling in where he needs to be. He may end up being a partial co-host with me on the podcast. You never know. So I definitely want Slump to be part of it too, and I'm glad that we're building something together as a family.
Awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. Do you have any upcoming goals that you're trying to reach?
Right now I'm just looking at trying. We Kat just signed a agreement with a not a modeling agency, but a marketing agency that's going to take over her Instagram, TikTok, her OnlyFans, and all that stuff, so that hopefully we can get that built up, because we've been working at it, but it's a lot of work for one or two people to do to get that built up. So right now she's at 8,500 followers. We were up to 18,000 last year, but her account got deleted. It's been hard building it back, but we're getting there. She's done 2 adult movies, or I guess 6 adult movies now with 2 different production companies, and we're looking at getting more. I think she wants to do more professional as well as some more amateur, and get her name out there, get going. So that's what we're working on hard right now, and then just getting this podcast up and going, and hopefully people like what they hear, and they're interested in what we got to say, because I think what we have to bring to the table is a different outlook on life, and it's worked for me. So I'm willing to step out on the line and talk about what I feel is right and what's worked for me in my life. I'm not saying it's going to work for anybody else, but I think there's a lot of people that I've influenced and I've met that really like to hear my story. So that's what gave me the idea. Let's just try to tell my story and see what people get out of it.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, a lot of people need to hear this. A lot of people need to hear these kinds of stories. I know I did. And I still, I learned a lot from it, because, being in my early 20s, you gotta listen to, the older generation and hear all their stories, because it helps you learn, sort of gives you a little guidance into what direction that you want to go on, and the possibilities and what to look out for and stuff like that.
And that's kind of why what At All Costs is all about. I mean, I'm trying to. I worked my way, and I was having big parties, and working with a lot of music artists and rappers in San Antonio, and I was opening my home up to them, because I wanted to see what can be happening, what could happen, And I had 18 music videos shot at my house, which is going to be put on our YouTube channel when we get it up and going.
Yeah, we're gonna need to get the links to those.
Yeah, and even had my house shot up, but I still done enough to keep going because I wanted to help the generation be better, and that's what MEGA stands for, which is MEGA marketing, is make entertainment great again, make education great again, and make earth godly again. Put love, compassion, and stop all this violence and hate that's going on. Man, that's what I'm all about.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't help but notice that you have a Trump bandana and a MAGA shirt, which kind of mimics a little bit of a MAGA, which is a slogan popularized by Trump. What do you like about Trump? What policies does he have that tickle your fancy, if you will?
Well, you know what makes me love Trump is he's a man of his word and he does what he says, and he's a man of honor, and he's also obviously God chosen when he dodged the bullet by turning his head a millimeter a second. So I've always been a fan of Donald Trump, and it's really crazy because I never voted, never even got into politics my whole entire life. I voted when I was 18 because it was a big deal, and I voted for Bill Clinton, and I wouldn't do that again now, but at the time that's who I thought. Never voted again because I didn't like any of them. I thought they were all friggin' sleazeballs and were all lying through their teeth, and I didn't trust any of them. And then in 2016, Trump decided to run, and I was like, I don't really like him, but I loved his show Apprentice because I love how he believes education should be, and that's how I grew up, went through apprenticeship, and that's how I got that far in my career. So I watched the apprenticeship, and I really loved it the first year or two he had it because he actually gave real people a chance for a real job in his company until it became celebrity. And that's how I started watching him. And then I was like, man, I haven't voted and I just want something different. He's a businessman. Let's give this a shot. So I went and voted in 2016. So
Awesome.
and then everything he did in 2016, I was a diehard Trumper in 2020. We went to every single rally. We got in San Antonio, went to every rally, went to New Braunfels, to every rally. I had my Durango decked out with flags. Me and Kat went decked out. Charger went decked out. I mean, we spent our Sundays doing the Trump train, man, and we loved it. So, and we even had a Trump lifestyle party at my house with a bunch of swingers. It was fucking great. Everybody dressed as Trump, man, and then we had the Trump vote election party in 2020, and that went from being one of the best parties I ever had to one of the worst when I found out that they stole the election right in front of my face. So that was crazy.